Welcome, my good people. Good morning. Monday, March
Ooh.
13th.
Yes, sir.
And another episode of the Man to Man Pod. I'm one half. I'm AB. Got my co-host D Butt
Yes, sir.
in the Thunderdome today, man. Hey, just when it starts, man. Tampering
Legal
starts
tampering.
today for sure. Free agency officially starts on Wednesday. We got the March Madness. We're gonna get some bracket busters. Sure. Shout out to my Howard University men's basketball team, man, headed to the tournament. I think them UConn Huskies, I think they in there too.
Nah, ain't no thing. You know we in there. We in there. 4th seed, baby. Your other squad ain't make it. They at home after being preseason number 1. Them Tar Heels. That's crazy.
That's wild. That's wild. But again, we got a lot to get into. Basketball. Again, like we said, football, free agency, some trades, some huge signings, some big names trying to figure out, what's gonna happen with them. So we got a lot to touch on today. What else you got?
Yeah, hey, that's it. Like you said, free agency. Obviously, we had that big trade with the Panthers after we had our last show on Thursday. So now the Panthers be picking number 1. So we'll talk about the details of that. Obviously, one of my NFL teams, made a big trade yesterday that we'll get into. I'm sure we'll have both have some good opinions on that, and then obviously, the Aaron Rodgers watch as far as him and the Jets. Is that gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? And then that AFC East. You gotta talk about the AFC East too, man. Has the Buffalo Bills window closed already? We're gonna see, man. But a lot to get to, and then obviously the best part of the show, some interaction, some questions from our listeners using that hashtag M2M Live on Twitter. And March Madness is upon us, man. So shit, let's get to it.
See you on the other side, baby.
Butler. Darius Butler. Antoine Bethea.
Yes, sir, man. We back. We're gonna jump right into it. Aaron Rodgers, close to making a decision, said it won't be long. You talked about it, him possibly going to the Jets. In the AFC East. And it's a lot of questions in that division right now, right? So you look at Aaron Rodgers, and if the Jets are able to acquire him and get him over to the Big Apple, we talked about it on Thursday. Where does this put the New York Jets if they're able to get 12 to walk into their building?
Man, that AFC East for 1 year. I'm assuming it'll be 1 year, possibly max 2, that he actually plays in New York if he ends up going there. But man, they got to be right in discussion to be at the top. Obviously, I'm pulling for my Dolphins, and if Tua can stay healthy, he did some great things in that offense last year. But that's a big if right now, having those three concussions, having those head injuries, and it's not like, he's not going to hit that turf. It's going to happen. So that's the big question there. Obviously, we made the trade for Jalen Ramsey yesterday, but we got great skill position weapons. They picked up Tua's 5th-year option as well a couple of days ago. So they are committed to him at least these next 2 years. But I mean, the Jets, with that defense that they had, they competed. They damn near made the playoffs last year with having some of the worst quarterback play in the league with Zach Wilson, stinking it up. So you get Aaron Rodgers there, and you assume he comes and plays pretty well. Garrett Wilson, other weapons out there, they got to be right in that conversation. Bills, obviously, Josh Allen, Diggs, Leslie Frazier, him taking a year off. I think that will impact that defense. Jordan Poyer potentially leaving. But I mean, the Jets, I don't want to say at the top. I don't want to say that because there is some gelling. I still put my Dolphins at the top, but I'll put them in that 2 or 3. I put them at 2 right now. I got my Dolphins still winning right now. Where would you put them if they land A-Rod?
Man,
we got a mob down there in Miami, by the way.
yeah, y'all definitely got a mob, but it all most of the time it looks good on paper. They got to be able to go out there on that field, man.
Here we go.
And get it done. But I tweeted it yesterday. Acquiring Jalen Ramsey, you got Xavier Howard on the other side. And I know with Vic Fangio walking into that building and the type of defense that he's going to try to create, it's going to be very imperative for to have really good corner play. And that's what you have. So that's why I'm very excited to see what Miami on that defensive side will be able to do. Obviously, a big question mark, like you said, as far as the quarterback position. Because that's imperative. You can do whatever you want to do, but if you don't got a guy at that position, man, it's going to be tough to win. Especially if Aaron Rodgers come over to the AFC East, and then you have to deal with him, you have to deal with Josh Allen. So right now, I'm gonna put the Bills at 1. I'm still gonna have them at 1 just because I don't know what's gonna happen with Tua. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. And I mean, you can look at that team and still say they got the best quarterback situation right now.
Who is that?
With Josh Allen, the Bills.
Yeah. So I'll put the Bills 1. I know that window is closing. It's closed, like you said. Leslie Frazier taking a year off. That's gonna be key. But I'll put the Bills 1. I will put your Miami Dolphins 2. I will put the Jets 3.
Okay, it's crazy. Talk about the AFC East and consensus. The Patriots not even coming. They're not even in the. It's like people don't even saying 4. They just 1, 2, 3, and it's just like Mac Jones, and that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Whatever happens with A-Rod is gonna happen. But what has happened with them Dolphins, and obviously we know the players. Brought over Bradley Chubb, played him, traded for Jalen Ramsey. Only had to give up a 3rd-round pick. I'm not sure what the money. Do you know what happened with his contract? Did they give him a new 2-year deal, or is it?
Dolphins have to pick up. So I think what I read, I think his cap hit this year. Maybe like 17.
Okay, shit, ain't bad at all.
Yeah, ain't bad. Yeah, I think the cap is maybe like 17 this year. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what I read. But again, being able to get a player like Jalen Ramsey, and all you had to give up was a 3rd-round pick, and then the tight end. Shit, I'll do that every day of the week.
Big facts.
Every day of the week. Fact. Because Jalen Ramsey still has a lot of good ball in front of him, and what he's able to do. Yeah, I think something like that. Man, the way he's able to play, you've seen him. He traveled with guys. He's played inside at the slot. So now it's like when you got 2 corners that can play. They can play the ball. They can play man. Pretty sure, you give them some downs off where they can, get back and read the quarterback. But you got 2 playmakers on the outside, man. So shit, that's going to give your rush some more time to get to the quarterback. It's going to free up your safeties a little bit more, especially when you play in that cover 4. Now them safeties can really roam, be a little bit more flat-footed, drive those digs. I
wanted to ask you about that system, man, because you obviously got experience in it, and you have spoken highly of Vic Fangio over the years, especially you've been on this pod, obviously played for him. You said earlier you need good corners in the system, or help. I mean, it helps to have good corners in any system, but especially in this one. Why, in particular, in this one?
So I will say this, right, and really, you don't have to have Hall of Fame corners, right? Because one thing that Vic Fangio is great at is calling the defense, right? Being able to put his players in positions for everybody to be successful, right? So. Have that 3-4. You have those guys up front, and you will have a lot of times where those guys will be able to get one-on-ones because of just the way that 3-4 is set up. But when you have those corners out there, man, And, a lot of times, you sit in that cover 4, and, as a corner, that cover 4, a lot of times that safety might see something. Safety might go rob a dig. He might go make a play. So that corners will have to be over top. A lot of times when you have those cover 4 beaters, either it's a lot of posts, it's a lot of corner routes. So you need guys that can go out there and cover, come back routes from the outside. How you going to play it? You're not going to really all the time have somebody underneath that. So having 2 good corners who can play in that cover 4 system, man, it's gonna be something special. And again, like I said earlier, those safeties. Now that I know I got 2 corners that doesn't necessarily need me underneath that post, I know they'll be on top of that post that can play. Now the safety, it's gonna give me free range. Now I can have my eyes on a quarterback. Now I can go wide plays on the other side of the field. So again, man, with just that cohesiveness that they'll be able to get, and then understand what Vic Fangio wants out of everybody on that defense. Y'all got something good over there.
Yeah, man. And speaking of the safeties, Javon Holland, I love him back there, man. The way he flies around, the way he hits, attacks the ball, does everything. I believe Brandon Jones will be coming back as well off injuries. Now, going into last year, I thought the Dolphins were going to have the best cornerback 1-2 punch in the league. Them in the conversation with, the Packers had it going into last year, the Eagles. But obviously Byron Jones, he had that Achilles injury, so they had to move on from him. But I mean, essentially replacing Byron Jones with Jalen Ramsey, I think that's a good move. You still got X Howard, who was kind of hampered by that hamstring injury, and you're a DB. That's one of them things that if you never really let it heal, you got to kind of baby that thing all year long, pretty much, and that's real tough to do. But I'm excited about what's going on down there in the Yayo, man. Hey, appreciate you, Larry Thompson, man. All them years ago, there's trades, all that thing we got back. Soon as we win this chip, we gonna put your statue right by Marino's, man. But appreciate that, man. But that was the big splash trade yesterday in the league. Jalen Ramsey goes down to Miami, and this was something that he wanted. Once again, David Mulugeta, making it happen for his guy.
Yeah. So, man, for the Rams, though, I think we kind of talked. We touched on it briefly. For the Rams, where does this put the Rams right now? Like, are they what's going on? Like, is it a rebuild? Is it I won't say a rebuild, but is a retool, like a restock? Like, what's the word for it?
They let Bobby Wagner go. They signed him to a bigger deal than I thought that anybody thought it was really going to play out to be. So he ended up leaving after this year. Obviously, Aaron Donald's back. Was some reports that I saw coming out. I don't know how true they were, that they were potentially even shopping Matt Stafford around. And we know he didn't play last year because of the injury, and there was questions on if he would even retire or not. But I think right now it's tough for them because giving up all them resources and picks and all the stuff they had to do to get that Super Bowl that they got a few years ago. I feel like now they kind of got to deal with the other side of that. And I feel like they're gonna struggle for the next couple of years. Honestly, I just don't look at their roster now. Cooper Kupp is coming back, which is I think a consensus, probably top 5 receiver. He was offensive player of the year last time he was healthy, so he's coming back. That'll be huge, obviously, for that offense. But I don't see coming into next year, at least as it stands right now, the Rams really being a threat or even being on the radar as far as a real contender. So. You got a quarterback like Matt Stafford, I can't necessarily say a rebuild, but especially when you don't have picks to really do it. But I don't see them being a real contender going into next year. But yeah, they had to obviously move Ramsey, move Wagner. You still got AD, you still got Kupp, you still got Stafford. Who else they got there? I heard Allen Robinson even could be looking for it. He's given permission.
So yeah, I mean, it's just sure. Sure, and then McVay, you come back for this?
He back. He had obviously opportunity to leave to get on the tube. He's back. I don't know if you saw or not, and I actually don't know if it's true or not. But I saw a report, I believe, from Florio saying that and Odell Beckham's not a Ram anymore. That's the last team he played for. But and he was seeking. He had his workout. I think 13 teams showed up.
Yep,
out there at Arizona State. Yep, saw some clips on it. I believe Prince Amukamara posted some clips of it. Obviously, he looked good. We both know what Odell is when he's healthy. Big question mark is going to be, can he remain healthy throughout the year? But I saw reports saying he was seeking $20 million a year.
Woo.
My first thoughts was like, I don't know if I necessarily believe that. It sounds crazy, obviously, after going unsigned after last year. But then when you look at this receiver market, and then also the salary cap going up, his thought process is probably like, shit, I'm the
Why
number one
not?
receiver on this. Yeah, I'm the number one receiver on this market. You throw that price out there, and even if you end up signing a deal that you're getting 12, 13 a year,
That's still a win.
it makes the other team that signed you, look a little, okay, it's definitely a win. But what's your thoughts on Odell? If you were GM, would you sign him? How would that deal look? And what would you be willing to pay Odell to join your mob?
Yeah, if I was a GM, I would sign him. Obviously, I would have to look in my receiver room. But knowing, like you said, with OBJ being healthy, what type of player that he is, what type of caliber player he is when he's on the field, I would not pay the $20 million. But I get it from OBJ's standpoint, like you said, as far as like this receiver market this year. Okay, if I don't get 20 mil, we might be able to negotiate. He might hit you for 15. Hey, that's a win for me. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Which
from
is
OBJ.
That's coin. That's
no question. But everybody that watches football, last time we saw him, we saw what he was able to do in the Super Bowl for the Rams. He still can be a productive receiver for you, still teams. His workout looked good. Obviously, it was in shorts, but if he gets to somebody building, I think he'll be able to help that team and make plays. So, I'm pretty sure his name will be ringing bells here soon.
Yeah, you get in that building, young quarterback, veteran quarterback, it don't matter. We know when OBJ is on the field, he's going to create separation. He's going to catch the ball. And I think at some point, he's going to start to control that middle of the field safety. When the Rams went on that run, and obviously Cooper Kupp did his thing, but once 3 came over there and he was able to control that safety, because you got to respect his speed and his game-breaking ability. If he's back to 100%, it'll be close to that. And he's only 30 years old, too. Obviously, he's had some major injuries. But I personally think, and you probably agree with this, him taking that full year off and not being signed, not getting signed late, not getting signed in the playoffs, and really just so it's no rush back. It's, hey, I'm taking every step and I'm taking my time with this thing, building all the muscles around it, running when I need. Okay, something don't feel right. Let me take a couple weeks off, taper back. I think that is going to help a lot on this back end. Once again, only 30 years old, the type of athlete he is, I think he can play for and be productive for a few more years. So I'm excited to see where Odell signs. 20 million, I wouldn't sign that. That's top of the receiver market. But you give him an incentive-based contract, let's say the base deal, and it, obviously he got to take it. But I say, let's say, 7-8 guaranteed, and then another probably 7-8 in incentives based on play time, hitting certain marks. And I think he could do that, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited about his return to the league, though. League is better with Odell in it.
No, facts, man. Rockstar. And like you said, man, with taking that year off and knowing how, he works, of course, take care of his body and things of that nature, I agree with you. I think that year will be beneficial to him, to his body, on this other side of his career. But
for sure,
we will see. And another big time trade, the Panthers trade up.
Huge trade.
The first overall pick. The Bears get 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore. When you talk about putting the ski mask on and running up on somebody, like, if I was the Panthers, I would not have made this trade.
No?
Nah.
Look, man, you can't stay in pat, man. You gotta go up there and get your guy. Whoever you believe it to be.
Nothing what you talking about right now,
hey, you gotta go. You can't sit back at 9. So it's 3-4 quarterbacks that everybody agrees on that's going to go in the first round this year. And I think 2 of them have a really, really big question. Well, really 3 of them. I think 3 of them. Obviously, outside of C.J. Stroud, I think C.J. Stroud is the most pro-ready quarterback. Bryce Young is the size. Richardson and Levis is, can they be productive and accurate and consistent in the league? But AB says, nah, sit back there, keep all these resources in your back pocket and keep meddling with Sam Darnold. Why? Why not trade up the one? I know it's a lot. It is a lot.
And that's it.
It is a lot. It's a whole
lot. That is.
I
understand, hey, Frank Reich, new regime coming in. Hey, Frank Reich needs a quarterback. Sam Darnold might not be the guy. But I cannot. So, okay, now, so you give up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and DJ Moore. So, obviously, hopefully, we got a conversation with the owner. Hey, I'm going to be here for a little bit. I give all of that up. Now I get a quarterback. Who my quarterback? DJ Moore was your guy.
Yeah.
And you give up 2 firsts, you give up 2 seconds. So what are you going to do? You get your quarterback. All right. So now what?
That's a hell of a question. But
now what? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, hey, we got the first overall pick. We're going to build around this guy, whoever that we pick. It's going to be a quarterback. So we're going to build around the guy. But now it's like, you know how it goes. We picked the quarterback first overall, and I'm not saying that player is gonna come in and have a tough season, but it's a growing curve.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a learning curve. And now it's like, if he's not looking like a Hall of Famer next year, oh, he's a bust. We got to do X, Y, and Z. So that's the only reason why I don't like this move, just because you gave up so much.
Yeah. You gave up a lot. I mean, you did get a little money off your books, too, with DJ Moore, because he is one of those receivers that make around $20 million a year. He obviously went out and earned that. Very, very good receiver. I think he's going to pay huge dividends for that Bears. The other side of this trade, the Bears team, Justin Fields, he obviously has to make a leap this year. So I feel like GM Ryan Poles did a phenomenal job showing up with that ski mask, getting on the phone.
He sent him a cigar, poured him a drink.
2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a proven asset playmaker with DJ Moore. So I think, obviously, on the front end, Bears won this trade. Now, if Carolina Panthers go and draft C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young, and these guys, this guy is the centerpiece of turning this franchise around and having them compete, because you're in a division right now where if you get the right guy at quarterback, right now Derek Carr is the best quarterback in that division. But so if you get the right guy, and we know how important that position is, if you get the right guy, to your point, AB, yes, you gave up a lot, and you're going to have to build around that guy. But if you do get the right guy, I don't think anybody looks back and say, oh, man, they gave too much. They gave up too much to get. Let's say Anthony Richardson comes in there and he's the second coming of Cam Newton, and Cam Newton was a completely different beast coming out. But let's just say Frank Reich
and Steve Smith, Cam Newton
had Olsen.
Yeah. So
Stewart, D'Lo.
Yeah. So he Cam Newton came in there with some. He didn't have to come in like, even though, he was rocking the suit, he didn't have to necessarily be Superman. You know what I mean? So as a young rook, I could lean on Steve Smith. I could lean on, these tight. I could lean on guys in my huddle. I feel like right now, you bring that young quarterback in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Roll them out there.
Again, I'm pretty sure the Panthers, they sat around, they talked about it. It was a consensus. Hey, let's do this so we can get our guys, so we can build around. I get that part. I definitely get that part.
Speaking of our guy, we both mentioned it. There have also, and we know this is smoke screen season, right? All the teams coming out saying they weren't interested, or they aren't interested in Lamar Jackson pursuing him. And then with this deal, the Panthers get the number 1 pick. And then I want to say probably 2, maybe 3 days later, a report came out and said, hey, Panthers like more than one quarterback up here. So don't be surprised if they potentially trade down a couple picks, recoup some of this some of this draft capital back.
I hope so.
And then, take, let's say they like 3 quarters, let's say they like 2. They move down to maybe the number 3 pick, and whoever knows. And they recoup maybe 2 of these picks back. How would you feel about that? For the Panthers.
I like that. So now we playing chess. So
Okay.
we making some moves. You know what I mean? We thinking. So I like that. So we got the number one. We got the number one pick. You know, like you said, some teams like, hey, Panthers, like we'll give you this, that, third. You know, for the first pick. I like that. I like that move. So hopefully that's the thought process around it. I hope it just like we're gonna give you this two, first, second, and DJ Moore for this first pick. But I like that. I like that move if it goes that route.
If it goes that route, they playing chess, man. But NFL never fails to give us some good storylines, some good drama. Obviously, the draft is right around the corner, about 4 or 5 weeks away. Now from the draft, A-Rod watch Lamar Jackson. Let's see what happened with Lamar. What happens with Lamar Jackson if they can work out a deal with the Ravens? If somebody steps up and puts a deal together to bring him over for his services. What other big story? Where did Odell land? Ramsey to Miami.
Payne with the
Payne
Commanders.
just got paid. Yeah, what did he get?
90.
Ooh.
90.
4 for 90, a dog on that D line. So he kind of jumped off. You know, it's always that first deal that kind of jumps off every year of free agency. We talked about the tampering period. I believe we have a tweet that kind of explains exactly what that tamper. Yeah, there we go. So these are the official rules from the NFL when it comes to the tampering period, what it is. During the period beginning at 12 noon New York time on March 13th and ending at 3:59 p.m. New York time on March 15th, clubs are permitted to contact and enter into contract negotiations with certified agents of players who will become unrestricted free agents upon the expiration of their 2022 player contracts at 4 p.m. New York time on March 15th. No prospective unrestricted free agent permitted to execute a contract with a new club until 4 p.m. New York time on March 15th. So obviously you've had a bunch of experience with this. I have as well. And it kind of starts at the combine, honestly. That's when you get a feel for who. Yeah, everybody's in the city, everybody going out, for drinks and dinner and lunch, and you figuring out really what's what. And then in this point in time, that once free agency starts, a minute after free agency, you start seeing these deals get released. But any pairings that you're looking forward to seeing? Anybody you want to go to a certain team? Any teams got some specific needs you would like to see filled? What are you looking forward to with this free agency season upon us?
Oh man, our coach, man. I think we need a receiver. We need a rush end. I would yeah, we need a lot. We need a lot. I would say Green Bay.
Some reports that our center Ryan Kelly will be on the trade block or potentially released. He just signed a new deal a couple years ago. You just mentioned Green Bay.
Green Bay, some safety work.
Mm-hmm.
I think young Rudy, he's up. I think who else?
Yep, he is. I know Savage was there. I'm not sure Savage is up.
Amos, I think Amos is up, so they'll need some safety play back there.
Yeah, I'm speaking of safety, I'm interested to see what Poyer goes. Jordan Poyer ends up out of Buffalo. Darius Slay was given permission from the Eagles to seek a trade, and that's probably a money thing. 32-year-old corner, had an all-pro season. But a lot of people in these front offices feel like, hey, you know what? A lot of money. He's gonna want a new deal. He's gonna want some more guarantees beyond this year.
Man,
and he's at an age now where, these people in the front office, they start looking at them analytics and say, hey, now
I don't get that one though. I don't get Slay. I don't get them giving him permission. I mean, I respect it, but I don't see why they would do that. Like you say, all pro. I understand the money, but shit, like you guys are in a window right now where, I could really go make a push again for that Lombardi trophy. I mean, I don't get that one.
And that's a captain. That's a guy that looks like a great leader for that team. Now, I think a part of it is he throw them brands up and get a chance. A part of it is them possibly being in the market. I saw something that said they possibly want to keep James Bradbury in there too, who's up for a new deal. He'll be an unrestricted free agent. Had a great year last year as well. He's a little younger than Slay. But yeah, I think he wants more money, which, most players of his caliber do. You don't want to go into a year where, hey, this is my last year where I have guaranteed money on my deal. So that conversation is probably had with the front office, and they probably said to him, hey, you know what? We'll give you the opportunity to go find that on the market, but we're not in a position to give you that right now, because at some point they're gonna have to obviously pay Hurts.
Man, we gonna deal with that when that time comes.
50 a year. Devontae's gonna be up. So, they're gonna have to make a lot of decisions up and down. A lot of decisions on defense too. So it's always that balance when you're in that position, that front office. But at least they're handling it the way where, hey, we're gonna give you the opportunity to go see what's out there on the market. And we'll see what happens with Slay, man. But anywhere he goes, I think he's gonna land on his feet and play. And he said he also wants to be an Eagle as well. So if they end up working that out there in Philly, I think that'll be good for both sides as well.
Question for you, so you mentioned you've gone through this process before as a free agent. Is there any nervousness?
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's almost like the draft, right? Everybody has their opinion on where you should go or what team and all these different things. Independent, and it's like a pecking order too. So depending on where you are as a free agent, if you're the top corner or the top safety or the top receiver on the market, it's a lot more settling. It's going to be you want a bidding war, and a lot of times that starts with your team. So if you're not in a position where you're getting those bidding war, or you got a deal on the table and the team will tell you, like, hey, or your agent will tell you, hey, this team, this is the deal we got lined up. I think we can get this, we can get that. But you only got this amount of time to agree to it, or they're going to go to this guy. You know what I mean? So those games are being played as well. And then your agent, all right, so what you think I should do? And the agent to give you your opinion. And then you got to make a decision as a player. The player, you should make that final decision, because you're going to have to obviously sleep. You're going to have to go to whatever city you're going to be in, your family as well. All those things factor in. So you hire, your agent works for you to give you, wise counsel. But as a player, as a man in that position, you got to make that decision for you and your family. And that's a tough spot to be in, sometimes. The money is the money, but and it's certain what are your priorities? Is it the money? Is it the playtime? Is it the championship? What's your priorities at that point? So it can definitely be nerve-wracking, especially when you're up against that clock. But at the same time, it's a blessing, because you're in a position where you've played well, and teams want your services and they're willing to pay that price for you. So but it's nerve-wracking. It's exciting. A little anxieties involved, but it's a great time of year. What about you? What was your experience in dealing with free agents?
I wouldn't say mine was, and not to sound like cocky or anything, but I wouldn't say it was like as much nerve-wracking than just it was a lot of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it was an anticipation as far as like, okay, I know I'm gonna be somewhere, but just where is it gonna be? You know what I mean? So when I left Indy, I had 3 teams that like around this time that were calling. So I'm like, okay, it will possibly be, and San Fran was just like coming off a tremendous run. So it was just a good fit. And then after I got asked for my release from San Fran, again, relationships. Coach BA was in Arizona.
Yeah. And
it was a phone call, hey, what's up? And, I was familiar with Arizona. That's where I trained at. I knew, BA, I knew Betts. So for me, when I was able to hit the market, man, it was kind of like not as much nerve-wracking, but just, excitement and, just, really trying to get that idea of where my next move was going to be. And to your point, at different points of your career, the priority changes sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you're young, it's like, yo, I need to go out here and get this money. You know what I mean? Where you've got a few deals, the money's still important, but then now later on in your career, it's like, man, I want to win. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
want to go out there and give me a ring. So again, your priorities kind of change through the timelines of your career. So, but it's an exciting time for everybody, man. You go out there, get this money, man. Like you said, guys, different teams is telling you how good you are. We want you, but to your point, you gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision quickly because every team gonna have okay, hey, look, this is what we offering. Nah, okay, this is what we offering. And you only gonna get about 2 or 3 of those, and they're gonna be like, okay, well, we're gonna go on to the next guy. And you don't want to be caught sitting on your hands. But
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a exciting time.
Yeah, and that's where kind of, and obviously players have represented themselves and have gotten great deals doing that. But that's where that agent kind of makes their hay, being in those, having those conversations, knowing, what the real, because sometimes the teams bullshit you and say, oh yeah, we're gonna have to bring this deal to this player or that, and you may know that other player's agent, or you may know that other team, or really has some other connections elsewhere and know it's bullshit. So, but it's a wild, interesting time of year. It's gonna be some deals that jump out, and you be like, yo, how did he get that? Like
Right.
what? And it just comes down to maybe two teams wanted him, and they really wanted his services, and that agent did his job, and that player obviously did his job first on that field. So it's gonna be exciting. It's always an exciting, very, very exciting time. But speaking of, that's a good question, Tom.
Great question, Tone. Great question. Did y'all consider taxes like Cali versus Texas? So my dumb ass should have when I went out to
San Fran.
I went out to San Fran, bro. Like that really wasn't. I was thinking about it, but then it really didn't hit me until I got that first check. I had to pull over. Bro, Mom Deuce called me and was like, yo, you got a joke at them in the mail. I'm like, all right, open that. Like, let me know that number. Man, she told me the number. I'm like, hold up. Like, I still remember that jump to this day. I'm in DC. I had to pull over, like, say what? Say that number again. Oh, I called the DC. I'm like, bruh. And he said, man, them taxes is different. You coming from Indianapolis, then going over to Cali, it was different. So
San Fran at that.
Yeah, so I know guys, they definitely do take that into account. They definitely do take that into account. But again, it's like, okay, well, do I want to take into account the taxes, or do I want to go to a lesser team and be miserable 3 to 4 months, or 5, 6 months out of the year?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, like that's kind of where you got to look at the table and say, okay, this is what's presented to you on the table. This was on the table.
Yeah.
Take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? So I would rather at least be able to be happy. I'm going into work every day. We got a winning record, got a decent record, Yeah, I got that call. I got that check. I'm saying, something ain't right here.
Something ain't right. I gotta talk to somebody.
Yeah, but somebody messed up in the accounting office.
That's a great question, Tone. That's probably not probably. That's a big reason, I'm sure. Jalen Ramsey's excited to get back to Florida because he started his career as a top 5 pick in Jacksonville, and obviously went out to LA, had a great run at LA, won a championship. Now he's coming back to South Florida at that. So good on him, man. But getting back to this exciting time of the year, March Madness, we got this read from our presenting sponsor, FanDuel, the FanDuel Sportsbook, the man-to-man pod. This March, take your first shot at college hoops with FanDuel Sportsbook and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right. Just bet $20 on the bracket and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you can spend betting on everything from money line to point spreads to that 5 versus 12 matchup that you've been eyeing. I already put a couple of brackets together. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. There's no better place to bet the tournament than FanDuel Sportsbook. Sign up today by going to FanDuel.com/M2M Live and make every moment more with FanDuel all tournament long. You see that bet 20, get up to 200 back in bonus bets. So yeah, man. Hey, speaking of FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook, I had another same game parlay. What's
Yes,
today? Thursday? That was a couple days ago. I had Steph Curry. Woo, Steph Curry came through for the kid. Another one, I believe this was around plus 600 bucks versus Golden State. And now this one, these NBA teams, these games, man, some of the players be, game time decisions. But anyway, pick Curry to go for 30 plus. Curry also needed to grab 6 or more rebounds, hit 5 or more threes, and then Bobby Portis grabbed 10 or more boards. And all these guys came through, or both these guys came through, should I say. This is another one. This is two out of my last 3 now, so I might be on a heater.
Might be on a heater.
Sports. Hey, I might be on a heater right now. I found my sweet spot at B. So in these basketball parlays, first of all, you can put together an 18-leg NBA parlay, and it always look, he had 4 rebounds. He just got to hit 2 threes. He got to score 15. It always look good. My sweet spot that I found, 4 legs. I can't go any more than 4 legs.
I like
and
it.
If it's between that 400 and about 800 plus 400, 800 range with those 4 legs, I'm pretty good with that. And it's usually like, a guy scoring 30, somebody grabbing a couple, 10 rebounds, or like a guard grabbing 6, James Harden getting 10 assists, the people who show up every night. Then you got to have some people on your ticket or some people in the league, should I say, you just got to ban them off your ticket. Like DeAndre Ayton, he'll never be on the ticket.
Who's that?
I know Brooke Lopez for you.
Oh,
he's
never
never going to
never on the ticket. God, I'm still mad about
James Harden points. Never going on the ticket for me. So it's certain people with certain categories that you just gotta eliminate once they burn you. Once they burn me, it's a wrap. So which you should probably take that in life. But yeah, FanDuel Sportsbook, shout out, man. Another same game parlay. I have another one coming in a few days, man. March Madness.
March Madness. Shoot, brackets are set, men's and women. Brackets are set, and we are going to have a man-to-man bracket contest. So however you want to call it, you know what I mean. We'll create some. Producer Tone, he's going put something up on Twitter, and y'all definitely be on the lookout. And we'll figure out some fun ways, some fun prizes, of what we can do to the and give to the winner. But I think this is going to be exciting.
Keep an eye on that Twitter at the Man to Man Pod on Twitter. Keep an eye on that timeline tonight, and we'll have that up. But like AB said, men's and women brackets are out. Speaking up, both of our alma maters are in there right now. You see the odds right here according to FanDuel Sportsbook on who has the best odds to win the men's national championship right now. Houston plus 500. They're the favorites right now going into it. Bama at plus 800. Kansas plus 1,000. Purdue plus 1,200. UCLA 1,400. Gonzaga 1,500. Arizona. Where's UConn? Okay, plus 2,400. That's all I care about right there. Let me go ahead and
2,400. Houston, man, they're the favorites, man. But one of their key players, man, dealing with a quad injury, man. So
we got a scoop. We got a scoop.
They were talking about it. What was that? Yesterday. He got a quad injury, so we gotta listen out and see what happens with that injury. But some good matchups, man. Just looking at the brackets, Selection Sunday last night, was just looking at some of the brackets. It looked like some real good matchups, man. I think we're gonna have a shock the world moment on Thursday in our
Don't start.
Howard against Kansas, the MEAC champs. Shout out to the men at Howard University, first time in the tournament in 31 years. So
wow,
big shout outs, man, to Coach Blakeney and company over there on Georgia Ave. But
yeah, that's big, man. I was watching
Howard University Bison, man, over the Kansas Jayhawks, man.
Hey, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Shout out to the MEAC champs, and I know you were out there. You were honored before the game. I was watching that game. I forgot where I was, but I was watching that game. It was a good game. You know, it was a little heavy on the whistle, but it was a good
little
game. I
heavy on the
know.
whistle. I'm like, damn, I think both teams like 20 free throws. I'm like, come on, man. I let the guys rock.
It was a lot. Hey, free throws. Free throws are huge when it comes down to this time of year. I remember one year when we won it, I believe it was the Shabazz year, Shabazz Napier, and he led us to a chip. We were like 80, 90 something percent down the stretch with them free throws, man. So those would be big. And UConn's a 4 seed coming into this one. Which bracket are we in? Let me check this out real quick because we are in the West region. Oh, we're in the same bracket. UConn and Howard in the same bracket. So we got a 116.
That matchup.
I don't think we're going to get that with AB. I ain't going to lie to you. 1 versus 16, Kansas versus Howard. We got 8-9, Arkansas, Illinois, St. Mary's versus VCU. That's the 5-12 over there. UConn, 4 versus 13, Iona. That was my first basketball scholarship offer from Iona University.
That's what y'all got? UConn got Iona?
Yep. 4 versus 13.
Hey, that's going to be – I like that matchup.
It's going to be a blowout, man. Stop it. TCU versus Arizona State or Nevada. That'll be 6-11 matchup. Gonzaga versus Grand Canyon, 3 versus 14. Northwestern versus Boise State, 7 versus 10. Then UCLA versus UNC Asheville. That's the 2 versus 15 matchup over there. So Kansas, UCLA, Gonzaga, and UConn are the top 4 seeds over there in the West. So, hey, I'm excited about March Madness as usual. It never fails
at all.
The excitement, you know, I already put a bracket together. I know it'll be busted after the first probably 3 games. That's what makes this time of the year special in college basketball. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely got, like I said, I got Howard and upset alert. I got Iona winning. So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Again, we're gonna have those brackets, man to man. So y'all stay on the lookout on Twitter. So I'm gonna put that up there for you guys to join in with us.
Yes, sir.
We got a good question too.
Okay.
M2M from
what's that name?
What? Love and hate.
People I love and hate.
Yeah, whatever. Should the NFL have max contracts like the NBA?
I feel like they do, kind of, right? I mean, it's not like so like the NBA, it's like, you know what the number's kind of gonna be. Like, hey, everybody has these max or super maxes, but in the NFL, it's just, you know, a guy like Deron Payne, for example, when Quentin Williams signed his deal out in New York, it'll be probably something close to that between Deron Payne and Aaron Donald. So I don't know. It's NBA is a lot easier because you only got 15 guys, I think 12 guys on like that. Yeah, so something like that. So it's a lot easier to have them slotted like that. So I'll say no. I think I kind of like the structure that the NFL has. Only thing I probably would change is the NFL just having a separate salary cap for the quarterbacks, like that not impacting your team cap, because we've seen, you know, quarterback get his deal and it's, we can't put it, blah, blah, blah. So you had that. So I guess that'll be the max contract, that quarterback deal, and then let them do whatever else with the rest. So that's the only change that I would make. So I guess for that tweet, for that question, I guess I'll say yes. How you feel about that?
No, I'm with you. We said that a couple of times with the quarterbacks, man. The quarterbacks got to be in their separate bracket or whatever the case may be. But again, like, I guess, you know, we do see it, you know, max contract, you know, hey, this is what D tackles, this is what the receivers, whatever the case may be. So we see it. We just don't, I guess, categorize it in the NFL as, hey, these are max contracts. But
yeah. Facts. Any other questions, or that was it?
Nah, that was
I can't see the comments. I can't see nothing.
That was the only one. As far as the M2M.
Okay.
I really don't see too many questions in the comments. Good old Monday. How long you in Indy this week? You there for the week?
I'm out of here tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight or early in the morning, but obviously in the studio in the Thunderdome, so I'll be on Pat's show today. So I'm definitely gonna enjoy that. But just came up here for a couple of days, and I'll be out. Got in last night, saw that snow on the ground. When I left Florida, it was 85.
Yeah.
But it's that time of year where hopefully that weather is shifting. What's the weather like out there where you at?
Man, it's a little cloudy, but I'll take that. It's what 45. The high today gonna be 57. You know, I can take
Oh yeah,
that.
that ain't bad at all. Yeah,
Take that.
that's hoodie weather right there. I don't
Facts,
mind that one
facts.
bit.
Take hoodie weather any day of the week. G.I. Joe 317, is a player's pay personal, or do the players just take it that way? I'm not 100% sure. Is a player's pay personal, or do the players just take it that way?
Maybe he's talking about like I guess the numbers that are offered, or I'm not sure, but I mean I feel like that goes beyond sports. But I feel like your pay is always personal. You always feel like, whatever
What you deserve.
Yeah, you bring to the table at your job, and obviously it's a market that's set for your job. Whether you're a doctor, lawyer, police officer, military, whatever you do, it's a certain market, and then if you're a high performer in said job, you want to get paid like the high performers do in that arena. So yeah, it's definitely personal, and when you don't get paid, or when your team or other teams aren't offering what you think you should be getting, that's definitely personal for sure. And once again, I think that goes beyond sports, and sports is just more, so obviously a lot more eyes on it. You have the salary cap, everybody knows what you're making. You can Google it. Hey, so and so, oh, AB getting paid that, and so and so getting paid that. I feel like AB's a better player. AB
Right.
probably feels that way too. So yeah, I think question's a little confusing, but I think based on what you're asking, I would say yes. That I think pay is always personal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Another happened, I think, over the weekend. Adam Thielen, Minnesota Vikings, parting ways with Adam Thielen. I think he will be a good fit for receiving room. Again, I'm not sure how much he has left in the tank, but as far as knowledge, being able to help some young guys in the room, and hands still good, so I think he will be a good addition. Obviously, not sure what he's asking for as far as pay wise, but I think somebody will pick him up. I think he'll do some good service for a team this year.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good vet. Definitely a good addition to those to a wide receiver meet room. Still good, great, very good short area quickness. Them third and mediums, third and shorts, definitely still getting open. Red area, crafty, knows how to get open. Good hands, still a good football player. Obviously, closer to the end of his career than the beginning. But I think for a team that's kind of a contender, I think he'll be a good addition. Now, if I'm a team, that's a couple years away, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to add Adam Thielen to the team, to the mob. But if I'm a team that's kind of on the cusp of really contending and pushing, I think Thielen would be a great addition to a room for sure. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So another question by Kevin Koenig. How do players feel when, say, you go on the internet like Twitter and you see fan bases talking about you and how you're not worth the potential payday or potential contract? I got 2 words for him, but I ain't gonna say it on here.
Shit. I mean, I wouldn't give a damn. It was my goal actually, and I create this goal at some point, probably in the middle of my career towards the end. I said, you know what? At some point, I want to be viewed as overpaid. I want people to be like, why he making? Because I wouldn't give a damn. As long as that check on my, that pay stub is on my seat, my locker every Monday or whenever it was, I'm cool. And once again, we always feel like the players always feel like they not getting paid what they're truly worth. And the business model, how it works is you can't necessarily pay a player or an employee what they're truly worth, or you ain't gonna necessarily survive as that business. So, me personally, wouldn't give a damn what the fan base is opposing or home or saying about what I'm making at all, especially when you put your body on the line and get out there and do it. It's only a short window of time. So if you're a player and people are saying you are overpaid, at least for me, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I'm right there with you. But I'm not gonna front though. I'm not gonna front like sometimes you read it and then you be on your phone, want to create the burner account like KD. I ain't gonna front. Sometimes you definitely want to get at a few people, but at the end of the day, like D-Buck said, like I wanted to shoot.
Man,
all the checks is coming through, and it's right around the lines that I'm comfortable with. I can care less what anybody thinks or what they say. But I'm not gonna sit here in front. We human beings too.
Got emotions.
Yeah, emotions. You might see something, be like, man, I wish I could pull up on so and so, but it is what it is.
Part of it, it's part of what come with it when you're in the spotlight or whatnot. But yeah, it definitely at some points. I don't even search your name on Twitter or nothing like that. There's a lot of people in a lot of corners of the world that's just gonna be coming at you crazy. You couldn't do a W drill.
Turn a good day into man. Let me just turn my phone off, man. Let me just get out of here. Before I say something, get myself in trouble.
Facts.
From Tone, if you could drop in as a GM or coach of any franchise in their current situation, where are you choosing?
Drop me right off in Kansas City. We got Mahomes locked up for I don't know how many more years. Best quarterback in the game. I know we get on his mics and everybody get on millions of mics around the world and always have conversations and debates. And I think it should be pretty consensus now that 15 up there in Kansas City is the best quarterback in the game. So yeah, drop me off in Kansas City. Let me have him, and I figure the rest out. I can build around that contract. I can build around that player. He's proven himself up at this point, so I ain't gonna make it too difficult on myself. Give me Mahomes, and let me build out there in Kansas City. Where you going?
I'm going to Miami, man.
Oh,
hey, GM me up in Miami, man, and we're gonna make a deal so I get Lamar Jackson down South Florida. Yes, sir.
Making it happen.
Yes, I'm making it happen. Man, I don't care what y'all talking about. Hey, I'm making it happen. Hey, offensive side of the ball, you see what we got? We just got Jalen Ramsey. Man, hey, look, it's up in the air with the quarterback we got now. Hey, Tua, I love you. When you're on the field, man, you've done X, Y, and Z. But to bring Lamar Jackson back home, man,
yeah, and not a bad place to be for a lot of reasons, but not a bad place to be. So you going to Miami? I'm taking my ass to Kansas City.
Hey, you just talked about them taxes.
Good question, Tom.
Yeah, great question. No state tax down there in Florida. Only good money. I ain't about to put that question up there.
Probably a good call. I ain't see it.
I'm gonna chill on these last two. I ain't gonna put anybody out there like that. But shoot, man. Like I said, shoot, by time, next Thursday, this Thursday, we'll have March Madness starting up on Thursday.
Yep.
Obviously, we got some play-in games before, but very exciting time. And then shoot on the 15th, man. I'm pretty sure we'll get here on Thursday. We'll be talking about some big time signings, some big time moves, guys moving around in the league. Maybe have some overreactions, or maybe some is what it is, So definitely, man. I'm very excited for Thursday's show because it's gonna have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. We'll have a lot more answers to these questions we've been asking. And who NFL, who knows what'll happen between now and then. But excited about it, definitely excited on that March Madness on the bracket. Once again, stay tuned. Check out the Twitter page tonight, the Man to Man on Twitter, and Man to Man Pod on Twitter, I believe. And we're gonna put these brackets together, have a little nice contest. But appreciate y'all rocking with us and tuning in on this beautiful Monday, March 13th. As Avi always says, start your week off right. Get that 30 minutes in. Health is wealth. Check out Pat's show starting at 12 o'clock. Pat McAfee show live from the Thunderdome, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a good week. We out.
Yes, sir. Gone.